Have you ever stopped to think about those little things we do every day? The routines that feel so normal, so ingrained, that we barely notice them. What if some of these seemingly harmless habits, especially after we've celebrated our 70th birthday, are actually working against us? Quietly, subtly chipping away at the precious gift of our years. It's a sobering thought, isn't it? We reach this wonderful stage of life, full of wisdom and experience, often feeling a sense of peace and accomplishment. Yet, beneath the surface, hidden in plain sight, can lie routines that are silently shortening our journey without us even realizing it. It's not about grand mistakes, but the subtle, persistent patterns that, over time, can have a profound impact on our vitality and longevity. Many of us fall into these traps simply because we aren't aware of the long-term consequences, believing we're doing just fine. But the truth is, true well-being in our golden years requires a conscious look at these everyday actions. In this video, we're going to uncover 7 of these quiet habits that might be holding you back. And more importantly, we'll talk about how you can easily shift them to embrace a longer, more vibrant life. You might be surprised at some of them, and I truly encourage you to watch to the very end for something that will genuinely surprise you. Now, let's dive right into these habits, starting with one that might seem more emotional than physical. But trust me, its impact on your longevity is profound. The first quiet habit that can subtly shorten your life, often without you even realizing it, is chronic social isolation and a lack of engaging purpose. It's easy, as we age, for our social circles to naturally shrink. Friends move away, loved ones pass on, and perhaps our children are busy with their own lives. We might find ourselves spending more and more time alone, perhaps comfortable in our routines, or even feeling that reaching out is too much effort. But here's the truth. Humans are social creatures. Our brains and bodies are wired for connection. When that connection dwindles, when we feel isolated or a profound lack of engaging purpose, it's not just our spirits that suffer. Research has shown that chronic loneliness can be as detrimental to our health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day or being obese. Think about that for a moment. It increases inflammation in the body. It can weaken our immune system, elevate blood pressure, and even accelerate cognitive decline, making us more susceptible to conditions like dementia. It's a silent stressor that wears down our physical resilience. So, what can we do? It's about actively seeking out connection and purpose. This doesn't mean you have to be constantly surrounded by people. It could be something as simple as making a regular phone call to a friend. Consider joining a local book club, a walking group, or a class at your community center. Think about volunteering. Even just a few hours a week can provide an incredible sense of purpose and connect you with others. I've heard wonderful stories about people like John, who, after retiring, found renewed vitality by joining a local gardening club, cultivating not just flowers, but rich friendships. Or Mary, who started mentoring young adults, finding immense joy and a profound reason to get up each morning. Finding a reason to engage, to contribute, and to connect with others keeps your brain active, your heart open, and your body vital. It's about being part of something larger than yourself, which, paradoxically, makes your life larger. Moving on from our social well-being, let's address a more physical aspect that many of us tend to overlook or dismiss, and that's the second quiet habit: ignoring persistent aches and pains. How often do we say, "Oh, it's just old age," when a knee starts to ache, or a shoulder feels stiff? It's incredibly common to attribute every new discomfort to the natural process of aging. And while some aches are indeed part of life's journey, many persistent pains are signals, vital messages from our body telling us that something isn't quite right. When we consistently ignore these signals, we risk letting minor issues escalate into major problems. That persistent knee ache, for instance, might be a warning sign of worsening arthritis or a structural issue that could be alleviated with simple exercises or a minor intervention. But if left unaddressed, it could lead to severe mobility issues. A chronic cough might be more than just a lingering cold. It could be a sign of a respiratory condition that needs attention. By dismissing these signals, we're not only enduring unnecessary discomfort, but we're also potentially allowing conditions to worsen, which can lead to more serious health complications, limit our activity, and ultimately impact our longevity. Furthermore, living with chronic pain, even if it's just an ache, creates a constant state of low-level stress in the body. This chronic stress can lead to inflammation, disrupt sleep, and deplete our energy, all of which contribute to a faster wear and tear on our systems. The solution here is not to panic at every twinge, but to cultivate a sense of active listening to your body. If an ache or pain persists for more than a few days, or if it significantly impacts your daily activities, it's a good idea to mention it to your doctor. They can help distinguish between normal aging and something that needs attention. Don't let the belief that it's nothing serious prevent you from seeking advice. Taking proactive steps to address these signals can prevent bigger problems down the line, keeping you moving freely and comfortably for years to come. Now, let's talk about something we engage with multiple times every single day, often without a second thought: what we put into our bodies. The third quiet habit that can subtly but significantly shorten your life is an over-reliance on processed foods and sugary drinks. For many years, we've been accustomed to convenience foods, and the shelves of our supermarkets are filled with them. They're quick, easy, and often designed to be incredibly tasty. But these processed items, things like prepackaged meals, sugary cereals, snack cakes, fizzy drinks, and even many so-called healthy packaged options, are often stripped of vital nutrients and packed instead with unhealthy fats, excessive sodium, and added sugars. While they might fill you up in the short term, they provide very little in terms of real, sustained energy or nutritional building blocks for your body. The consistent consumption of these foods leads to chronic inflammation, which is a key contributor to almost every age-related disease, from heart disease and diabetes to arthritis and even some cancers. Sugary drinks, in particular, are notorious for causing rapid spikes in blood sugar, putting a tremendous strain on your pancreas and contributing to insulin resistance, a precursor to type 2 diabetes. They offer no nutritional value whatsoever, yet are packed with calories that contribute to weight gain. Think about how you feel after eating a highly processed meal compared to a meal rich in fresh vegetables, lean protein, and whole grains. Processed foods often leave us feeling sluggish, bloated, and craving more unhealthy options, creating a vicious cycle. What's the practical takeaway? It's not about perfection, but about making conscious choices. Start by reading food labels. If sugar is one of the first few ingredients, or if there's a long list of unfamiliar chemicals, it's a good sign to put it back. Prioritize whole, unprocessed foods like fresh fruits, vegetables, lean meats, fish, beans, lentils, and whole grains. Hydrate with plain water, herbal tea, or naturally flavored water instead of sugary drinks. Even small swaps make a huge difference over time, directly impacting your energy levels, your gut health, and your body's ability to repair itself, all of which are crucial for a long and healthy life. Now that we've discussed the hidden dangers of social isolation, ignoring our body's signals, and the pitfalls of processed foods, let's move on to another crucial area that impacts your vitality and longevity, often in ways you might not immediately consider. So often, we think of staying healthy as requiring intense workouts. But the fourth quiet habit that can subtly shorten your life is simply a sedentary lifestyle. A consistent lack of movement. As we get older, it's easy to fall into a routine that involves more sitting and less moving. Perhaps our daily structure has changed, and the idea of moving feels less appealing. But here's the often overlooked truth: our bodies are designed to move. When we spend too much time sitting or being inactive, our muscles begin to waste away, a process called sarcopenia, which accelerates after 70. This loss of muscle mass doesn't just make us weaker, it impacts our metabolism and, crucially, it increases our risk of falls. Our bones also suffer, becoming less dense and more fragile. Beyond that, a lack of consistent movement negatively impacts our cardiovascular health, making our hearts less efficient, and it can contribute to poor circulation. It's not about becoming an Olympic athlete. It's about breaking up long periods of sitting and finding ways to integrate gentle movement throughout your day. Think about it. Even standing up and walking for just 5 minutes every hour can make a significant difference. Take a short stroll around your garden or block. Park a little further away when you go to the shops. Do some light stretches while watching television. I know a lovely woman named Margaret who started walking her dog just 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes in the evening, and she told me she not only felt stronger, but her mood significantly improved. The key is consistency and finding activities you genuinely enjoy. Whether it's dancing in your living room, gardening, or taking a slow walk in a local park, every bit of movement adds up, keeping your muscles and bones strong, your heart healthy, and your energy levels higher, which is fundamentally linked to living a longer, more active life. Now that we've considered the importance of movement, let's turn our attention to another foundational pillar of health that many of us compromise without realizing the cost: neglecting sleep quality. It's the fifth quiet habit that can significantly shorten your life. For many, as we get older, sleep patterns change. We might find it harder to fall asleep, wake up more frequently, or feel less rested. And it's easy to dismiss these changes, thinking that less sleep is just what happens when you get older. However, consistently poor sleep or insufficient sleep is not merely an inconvenience. It's a profound stressor on your entire system. During sleep, your body and brain undertake vital restorative processes. Your cells repair themselves, your immune system is strengthened, and your brain clears out metabolic waste products linked to cognitive decline. When you don't get enough quality sleep, typically 7 to 9 hours for most adults, these crucial processes are compromised. Chronic sleep deprivation can lead to increased inflammation, higher blood pressure, impaired glucose metabolism, and a weakened immune response, leaving you more vulnerable to illness. It also severely impacts your cognitive function, affecting memory, concentration, and decision-making, and significantly impacts your mood. So, what's the secret to better sleep? It starts with creating a consistent sleep routine. Try to go to bed and wake up at roughly the same time each day, even on weekends. Make your bedroom a sanctuary: dark, quiet, and cool. Avoid stimulating activities like watching exciting TV shows or using electronic devices right before bed. Instead, try winding down with a warm bath, reading a book, or listening to calming music. Be mindful of caffeine and alcohol consumption, especially in the afternoon and evening. If you find yourself consistently struggling, a conversation with your doctor can be incredibly helpful. Prioritizing sleep isn't a luxury. It's a non-negotiable requirement for physical and mental rejuvenation, directly contributing to a longer, healthier, and happier life. Next, let's explore a habit that often operates silently within us. Yet its impact on our longevity is undeniable: unmanaged chronic stress and worry. This is our sixth quiet habit. Life, even in our later years, often brings its share of challenges. While short-term stress can be a motivator, chronic, unmanaged stress is a silent killer. When we're constantly worried or stressed, our bodies remain in a prolonged fight or flight mode, constantly releasing stress hormones like cortisol. Over time, high cortisol levels can wreak havoc on nearly every system. This can lead to chronic inflammation, suppress the immune system, increase blood sugar, elevate blood pressure, and contribute to abdominal fat storage. All factors that increase our risk for heart disease, diabetes, and other chronic conditions. Beyond the physical, chronic worry takes a tremendous toll on our mental well-being, leading to anxiety, depression, and affecting our cognitive function and memory. It makes us feel drained and restless. So, how can we diffuse this silent habit? It's about building resilience and finding healthy coping mechanisms. This could involve simple daily practices like deep breathing exercises or short meditation sessions. Even just 5 minutes a day. Spending time in nature. Pursuing hobbies you love. Listening to calming music. Or engaging in gentle exercise like walking can be incredibly effective stress reducers. For some, talking to a trusted friend, a family member, or even a professional counselor can provide a valuable outlet for worries. Learning to identify the things you can control and letting go of the things you can't is a powerful step. Remember, it's not about eliminating all stress, that's impossible, but about managing your response to it. Cultivating a calm and resilient mindset protects your heart, your mind, and your immune system, buying you precious years of peace and well-being. Finally, we arrive at the 7th quiet habit that can quietly shorten your life. And it's one that often gets overlooked in discussions about physical health not challenging your mind, or a lack of consistent mental stimulation. Just like our muscles need exercise to stay strong, our brains need regular workouts to remain sharp and resilient. As we get older, it can be easy to fall into comfortable routines, engaging less in new learning or complex thought processes. But when we don't actively challenge our minds, we miss out on a vital process called neuroplasticity, which is the brain's ability to form new connections and pathways. This mental stagnation can lead to a decline in cognitive functions like memory, problem solving, and critical thinking, and potentially increase our susceptibility to cognitive issues as we age. Think about it: if you don't use a muscle, it atrophies. The same applies to your brain. So, what can you do to keep your mind vibrant? It's about embracing lifelong learning and novelty. This doesn't mean going back to university. It could be as simple as learning a new skill or hobby, perhaps playing a musical instrument, taking up painting, or learning a new language. Engage in activities that require mental effort: puzzles like crosswords or Sudoku, strategy games like chess or bridge, reading challenging books, or even simply trying a new recipe that requires you to follow complex instructions. Participating in lively discussions or even planning a trip to a new place can all provide excellent mental stimulation. Keeping your brain active and engaged builds cognitive reserve, essentially creating backup pathways, making your mind more resilient against the natural effects of aging. It's an investment in your mental agility and overall longevity, ensuring your golden years are filled with curiosity, growth, and sharp thinking. Now that we've explored these 7 powerful habits that, when unaddressed, can quietly diminish your health and longevity, let's wrap everything up with some truly encouraging thoughts and a reminder of the incredible power you have to shape your future. So, we've journeyed through 7 often overlooked habits that, when left unchecked, can quietly steal years from your life and vibrancy from your days. We talked about the profound importance of staying connected and finding a true sense of purpose. Understanding that loneliness isn't just an emotional state, but a significant health risk. We explored the quiet wisdom of listening to your body and never dismissing those persistent aches and pains as just old age. Because often, they are urgent signals for attention. We uncovered how an over-reliance on processed foods and sugary drinks can fuel inflammation and silently damage your internal systems, urging us instead towards the nourishing power of whole, natural foods. Then we shifted our focus to the essential need for consistent movement, reminding ourselves that even small bursts of activity throughout the day can keep our muscles, bones, and heart strong. We emphasize the non-negotiable role of quality sleep in repairing and rejuvenating your entire being, highlighting how truly restorative rest is your body's best medicine. We then delved into the pervasive impact of unmanaged chronic stress and worry, learning how to cultivate resilience and protect our systems from the silent wear and tear of constant alarm bells. And finally, we celebrated the power of challenging your mind, keeping your brain agile and vibrant through continuous learning and engagement. It might feel like a lot to take in, these 7 areas. And perhaps you're thinking, where do I even begin? But here's the wonderful truth. The truly surprising thing I mentioned at the beginning. You don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. The most powerful changes often come from the smallest, most consistent adjustments. Think about it as planting tiny seeds of health and longevity every single day. Even a 5-minute walk, choosing water over a sugary drink, making one phone call to a friend, or spending 10 minutes on a crossword puzzle. These seemingly insignificant actions, when repeated consistently, accumulate into monumental improvements in your health and well-being. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. It's about choosing one small area to focus on this week, perhaps adding 5 minutes of gentle stretching, or consciously adding an extra serving of vegetables to one meal. The power is in the ripple effect. When you make one positive change, it often inspires another, creating a virtuous cycle of better habits. Your body is incredibly resilient and capable of healing and adapting. Even after 70, it's never too late to start making choices that honor your health and extend your years with vitality. Every single day offers a fresh opportunity to decide how you want to live, to nurture yourself, and to invest in your future. Remember, these habits aren't about denying yourself pleasure. They're about choosing actions that genuinely support a life full of more energy, more clarity, more joy, and more precious time with the people and pursuits you love. Imagine waking up feeling more refreshed, having more energy to do the things you enjoy, and facing each day with a greater sense of purpose and peace. That future is absolutely within your reach, not through drastic measures, but through these quiet, consistent, conscious choices. Your golden years are meant to be a time of rich experiences, continued growth, and deep contentment. By becoming aware of these 7 subtle habits and making even small shifts, you are actively choosing to protect your most valuable asset, your health and your time. You are saying yes to more vibrant days, more clear-headed moments, and more joyful memories. This isn't about living forever, but about living fuller, healthier, and with greater quality for all the years you have. It's about ensuring that the years ahead are not just lived, but truly thrived. I truly hope this conversation has given you some valuable insights and, more importantly, a renewed sense of empowerment. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Which of these habits resonated most with you? Are there any other quiet habits you've identified that you feel quietly shorten life? Please share your experiences and insights in the comments below. Your wisdom is invaluable, and your stories can inspire so many others in our community. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps us reach more people who can benefit from this information. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to our channel. We're dedicated to bringing you more practical, encouraging content designed to help you live your best life at every age. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Remember, every step, no matter how small, is a step towards a healthier, happier, and longer life. Live your best life at every age.